Okay, so let's get something that probably you guys have seen or you do say not. I made a fanfic about months ago, and I didn't know it could be hit like 1.K reads, and I decided to tell you that how I work on this fanfiction, and how surprisingly I didn't know that it was completely somehow a little bit hit on my pad, if I say it right. So, okay, here's the origins of how I made the fanfiction. It was around during July or February, where I discovered that about Crusader Rabbit, aka 𝐒𝐿𝐤𝐷's first cartoon character. Crusader Rabbit was the first ever cartoon fictional character from the 40s, and he was a fictional icon that everyone really forgot about. So what really happened to the show? Well, apparently that the show has been ended off on a cliffhanger, and of course that it was given rights to another owner. Just like the origins of Oswald, where Oswald lost the rights of Oswald, and now created by Mickey Mouse. And then Jay, apparently a few years later, he decided to create another show, as we all know, as Rocky and Bullwinkle. After I learned about Crusader Rabbit and who he was and what he actually is, I thought of an idea of creating this new fanfiction, Rocky and Bullwinkle and Crusader Rabbit. So you guys probably wondering why I made Crusader Rabbit as the main villain. Here's the funny part. It was somehow inspired by, you guys know about this hit Disney game called 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿, where after Oswald has been returned, Rise of Disney, 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 was all about Oswald and Mickey Mouse. But I decided to make it a little bit different, similar to 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. The Fluffy Tales Forgotten Trails is a fanfiction, but a crossover of, again, Crusader Rabbit and Rocky and Bullwinkle. The reason why I made Crusader Rabbit a villain, that I have something to do with one of my favorite tropes of forgetting old cartoon characters that are being forgotten and replaced, and somehow becoming villains and something like that. I decided to do one for Crusader. So sometimes I probably in the fanfiction, he was nicknamed as Sea Rabbit, giving up its name as Sea Rabbit, giving his name a little bit anonymous. And of course, you probably know as Rags. Rags is Crusader Rabbit's best friends and sidekick. In the fanfiction, just like some henchmen, Rags is somehow trying to following up the villain's lead, but also being nice. So yeah, there are some other unrelated 𝐒𝐿 cartoons I put in a crossover, such as Oswald and Animaniacs. There's something that you might know about this, and you're probably wondering why I add this to the crossover, even though they're not even related to the 𝐒𝐿 productions. So I had some other crossover end canons that I made a while ago, and it was really funny that there are some infos about, I said I put it right here. And one of my favorite interesting about making head canyons is just one of Kids artists, the adopted kids of Rocky and Bullwinkle. I just wanted to make a next type of a feature ahead of it. So this fanfic takes place after the events of the reboots, and okay, I'm sorry, it's hard to explain. So I believe that you all know about the plot of the fanfiction. After the failed reunion party, Crusader Rabbit has been taken over fast by phones, and Rocky and Bullwinkle has been decided to restored or retired Avengers and decided to defeat Peter Rabbit to save their hometown. And there's like some other topics. Let me tell you something. This fanfiction, well, it's literally not for kids. Here's why. This fanfiction starts off with somehow, as while I was trying to make this fanfiction, there are some like serious topics of this fanfic, and I think I ended up right. So, when making this fanfiction, I somehow did not know how old it's going to be, the age range of this fanfiction. Probably like 15 plus or something. So they have like other serious topics such as abandonment, trauma, favoritism, and some heavy topics that are too dark. And of course there's no, we're gonna know how it goes. Like, I do not add those in the story because I thought it was just too bad for the fanfiction. This fanfiction was started development in February, which was finished in July. The fanfiction was started release of July 15th, and after the fanfiction release, it took me a while to notice that my fanfiction was starting to get more and more reads. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know how I worked so hard for 5 months. That took me 5 months to take the fanfiction and be done with it. And I believe that you guys see the fanfiction or not. If you do, I really appreciate that. And now, for me, I'm deciding to developing a sequel. It's not as long as the fanfiction. It's gonna be like 10 chapters. So, if you really enjoyed by the fanfiction, it really is a loss to me, and thank you all so much for everything, and I will see you whatever somehow video I can be upload. Fun fact, this is not going to be the first time. Also, this is not a good time to do a voice reveal, so anyway, bye!